Hello everyone and welcome to Clickheads. I'm Eddie the Chump and today we're going to be talking about Gears of War, Rod Fergusson and Cliffy B. Now for those of you that don't know, Gears 5 was actually quite good. The company that made it, Coalition, was up until very recently headed by industry veteran Rod Fergusson, who has been with the series since its beginnings at Epic Games. But alas, no more, as Fergusson has been headhunted by Activision Blizzard to head up their Diablo franchise starting from a month from now. This, as you can imagine, is a bit of a blow. Gears is in a weird place. It's a legacy Xbox exclusive that once upon a time did ship consoles. In fact, I would argue it was one of the key titles that helped the Xbox 360 establish its dominance in that generation. The original Gears may look graphically dated now, but at the time it was genuinely groundbreaking and made people kind of go, wow, this really is next gen. But just like an aging fighter way past their prime, the Gears franchise has found itself in a strange position. It's too important to throw away, but nowhere near the in thing. It is, I'm sad to say, a boomer in the third generation shooter landscape, yelling at all the young games to get off its lawn. Epic has Fortnite, which owes quite a lot to Gears actually, and that's what all the kids are playing. Let's not bullshit, it's what virtually everyone is playing. I mean, I don't, but that's because I'm also a boomer who just wants to shoot things in the face more directly. Fortnite's year 3000 4D chess building makes me want to die inside. I am the opposite of what you would call a big brain gamer. I failed the Hearthstone tutorial for God's sake, so I feel some affinity for Gears and its old school gameplay, but a lot of people don't, and that's the point. Microsoft are finding themselves in this position more and more of late. They have two legacy shooter IPs in Halo and Gears that help them build their brand, but who no longer draw the crowds, like when a once famous wrestler leaves WWE to go to a smaller promotion. The hardcore will still turn out, but everyone else, nah. I find it funny that Phil Spencer recently had the balls to say Sony aren't their real rivals in the next console war, but that Amazon and Google are. Mate, have you seen how the Stadia is doing? People can't give them away. Anyway, despite Gears not being as popular as it once was, Xbox are unlikely to just can it. They don't have many exclusives as it is, even if more are being developed as we speak. So what is going to happen now that the man who's been steering the ship has left? Well, that's where things get interesting. Do you guys remember Cliffy B? You should. He was for a time a young game dev rockstar figure. He too was central to Gears of War's success when it was at Epic, and now that Fergusson has moved on, he has offered us his services to consult with Xbox on the future of Gears. He says in this tweet from yesterday, "Offer still stands to consult on the Gears franchise, Microsoft. Your move. Rod had a bunch of my and Mr. Lee Perry's unused ideas sitting on the cutting room floor." Now this is really fascinating. Cliffy B has had nothing to do with Gears for a long time, despite virtually being its poster boy in its heyday. What he has been doing is making quite poorly received games and generally not having the best time of it. It was just a few days ago that he took to Twitter to reflect upon his game Lawbreakers' failure from 2016. What Cliffy thought was responsible for the game's lack of success wasn't that it wasn't very good, which it wasn't, I said wasn't a lot there, but that he jammed his personal woke politics down people's throats. Now, the veracity of that is disputed. Cliffy B did make a very public point of putting gender-neutral bathrooms in the game and tweeting at a state governor about it, but if I'm being honest, woke things are put in games all the time, successful ones at that. Not least of all Overwatch, with which Lawbreakers directly competed. Mild wokeness won't kill a game. Sure, some people find it obnoxious. Okay, that's understating it a bit. Some people have careers getting mad at the woke media, and I'm not judging them, by the way. It's definitely a subject that you can critique for sure, but that's not what made Lawbreakers fail. What did was that it was confusing, decidedly old school in some of its mechanics, and far, far less polished than Overwatch. Looking at the games side by side, there's actually quite a bit of overlap. It's just that Blizzard's game had real appeal, and Lawbreakers did not. This is going to sound petty, but Lawbreakers felt very bro in terms of its delivery and art style, whereas Overwatch felt optimistic and current. So no, this isn't an example of get woke, go broke, as the internet likes to say. Lawbreakers just missed the mark, and by missing the mark, I mean hit row Z. The same was also true of Cliffy B's follow-up game, Radical Heights, a BR with also a very bro yet 80s aesthetic. That game fell flat with players in a congested market, and sadly that was the end of Boss Key Games. So just like that aging fighter who used to be the talk of the town I mentioned earlier, Cliffy B finds himself in a strange position too. He's too important to be outright dismissed, but in the kindest possible way, he hasn't made a relevant contribution to the games industry in quite a while. Sometimes fighters go on a comeback trail, trying to show people they've still got it. I guess this is what Cliffy B is trying to do with his tweets to Microsoft, and to be fair, they do need someone to head up Gears development, even if it is just consulting. The problem, as far as I can see it, is that Gears has been moving away from broiness for at least 2 games. Women have a much larger role to play, other than being side characters, villains, or wives for the men made out of stakes to try and rescue. Gears 5 isn't JD's story, it's Kate's. Even Marcus is having to make do with support character status. Gears is in the process of being modernized, and no matter how you feel about that, are Microsoft going to want to get in someone who has shown he has struggled to do the same? I find that unlikely. What's Cliffy gonna say? Hey guys, this game needs more muscles and more chainsaws. What about chainsaws with muscles? That hasn't been done yet. I'm being a bit mean. It's actually disrespectful not to recognize what Cliffy B has contributed to gaming. It truly wouldn't be the same without him. But seriously, what Gears doesn't need now is to be more broy. I could be completely wrong though. Everyone does love a good comeback story, like George Foreman in boxing. He won the heavyweight title in his mid-40s, and as a gaming boomer myself, I kinda do want a fellow granddad to make good and show all the young zoomers what's up. I'm not holding my breath though. That's about it for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know how you feel about this subject down in the comment section below. If you like the content on this channel, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you get notified when we upload. Until next time.